So the purpose of the instructional project is to really apply the knowledge of instruction and assessment of ELS into practice. So it's an opportunity to hopefully work with a knowledgeable instructor of ESOL, implement the 3 lessons based on the needs of students and teachers. So the first thing you have to do is find a location. You're strongly encouraged to find an ESOL professional who will allow you to set this up as a co-teaching situation. It would be wonderful if you could practice those co-teaching methods we talked about in 548. You can teach the 3 lessons during their designated ENL standalone time or during a study hall or other free time where students might need supplemental support. So you really need to find this location early because you have to talk with the teacher to figure out the lessons that the teacher wants you to teach. I would say plan on implementing mid to late April so you have enough time to write your reflection but also get feedback on the different lesson plans. So your 3 lesson plans must align to the needs of what students are working on, as well as appropriate state standards. We had some trouble in 548 finding those NLA standards. I have found them, and there's another video posted after this one to help you find those NLA standards. New York State just changed the website, so it's extra digging to find them, but I have found them. So you're going to create these 3 lesson plans based on the template, and you're going to justify your choices with relevant research. So you're going to submit each of the lesson plans. It'll be 3 weeks, 3 different lesson plans, and you'll get feedback from me. And then you're also going to develop and implement an assessment of the content knowledge you facilitated. So we're always teaching language skills and content knowledge at the same time. But this assessment is focused just on measuring content knowledge through an assessment that is appropriate and meaningful for ELS. So we want to move away from this idea of just tests. It should be an assessment that really lets them demonstrate their knowledge. And you have to make sure that the students are getting meaningful feedback on the progress they made regarding this topic. So then you'll submit the assessment guide and I'll give you feedback on that before you implement it. So then the last part of the project, after you've created the lessons and the assessments, I've given you feedback, you then take them to the teacher and the students and implement them. And then you're going to write a reflection on your implementation, the assessment, the results of the assessments, what would you keep, what would you change for the future. So it's going to really demonstrate your ability to take the knowledge of your impact on student learning as well as reflect and make sure that your practices are data informed. You're going to follow APA 6th edition conventions. So you're going to be graded on this project as a whole, not on the individual components. So each lesson plan and the assessment are not going to get a grade. It's still required because if you don't submit each of the components on time, you're going to lose credit towards the overall project. But you won't get a grade on each of the individual components. It'll be a grade on the whole. So your impact on student learning, do you exceed standards by demonstrating thoughtful reflection on your impact? Can you plan for standards-based ENL and content instruction? So do you have a strong ability to prepare for multi-level classrooms from learners from a diverse background based on ENL and content curriculum? Can you then implement that standards-based content instruction? So how do you implement it? Is it motivating and engaging for learners? Then we're looking at the classroom-based assessment. So can you use a wide variety of assessment tools to inform instruction from the classroom? So not only are you looking at what did students learn, but you're giving them meaningful feedback to students about what they learned and how they should continue to grow. And then your reflection demonstrates how this data gathered is going to inform future instruction. Can you use resources and technology effectively? So our webliography and bibliography gave us a lot of different resources and technology. Can you then turn them around and use them effectively? And then can you justify your decisions with relevant research and ENL history? So did you meet all the requirements of the task? And then did you use a professional voice throughout? So again, the assignments are within different modules as it occurs, but then you can also go to the assignments tab and each of the lesson plans has a place to submit. And on each of the lesson plans, you will find the template as well. And then here's the assessment, and it has the assessment guide that you have to follow when you submit your assessment. And then the overall reflection. So again, I've given you the directions that you can find on the syllabus. Here's our video explanation. This will be posted right there. the lesson plan template, the assessment template, and then a model of the reflection paper. Now you'll note the paper was not formatted to APA 6th edition, so they lost a little points on the task for this, but the content was really rich. It was a really rich reflection that really looked at how this teacher impacted student learning. So it's a great model in that sense, but just make sure that your own paper follows the correct conventions. So this is where you'll submit your overall reflection. And here's that rubric again. As you're working throughout the semester, let me know if you have any questions, any concerns.